everyone, and welcome to the peak week. Sorry I haven't uploaded for the last 2 weeks, but I just didn't feel like I had time to put a valuable video for you that's actually gonna help you learn something or learn a recipe and mindset-based mindset tip or anything like that. And I like my videos to for you to take something away. So today I come up with a topic, and I'm actually not doing a vlog. I've actually do the vlog, but I thought that I want to do something different, something that's actually helpful, which is gonna be the explanation, the science-based approach to peak week, the tutorial on how to do peak week, what peak week is all about, what to do, what not to do, and it's all based on my experience because I'm doing it for the first time myself, but it's based on my research I got to the science-based resources, articles, and I've selected different approaches, and this is what works, what seems to work the most, what makes sense to me as a scientist also as well the most, because I know a lot about the human physiology, and it's a lot about it during the peak week, and it's very fair. Actually, at the end of the day, it's all about how much fat you've lost. So the long-term game, not just the peak week. And I'm very excited for you to watch that video, to watch the tutorial. This is for anyone who has done the show and maybe have not been successful, have been looking flat and doesn't know why. For someone who's approaching their first peak week, or maybe someone who's done the show and just doesn't understand the science of the peak week and what is it all about. So you're more than welcome to watch it, and the vlogs are gonna be there supposedly as well. But for today, a lot of value, and yeah, I'm super excited for you to watch. So let's jump right into the video. Hello everyone, and so welcome to this peak week protocol. I've created a visual for you, as well as I will be also sharing my plan for the peak week. So I'm going to share what I've learned through science, reading science-based resources, and the approaches I'm going to be utilizing during my peak week, peaking into success. So let's get started. It's important to know first what is a peak week, because I didn't know myself. I didn't know what is it all about, like is there any magic happening there? So basically the goal of the peak week is to blow up your muscle, is to get as much water into the muscle cells and leave as little water in the subcutaneous layer. As you can see on the picture, we've got a subcutaneous layer right between the muscle and the skin, and we want to blow up the muscle. And then we've got also kidneys, and so today we're gonna learn how do we do that, how do we blow up the muscle. First I'm going to share what not to do, or what hasn't been found to be effective, but still a lot of people do that, and then what is actually working and what I am utilizing, what I'm doing this first time round. So let's get started. What not to do. So you might be thinking first, okay, easy peasy, if you want more water in the muscle, drink more water. It doesn't work this way, because our body always wants to maintain the equilibrium. So if you're gonna drink more water, you're also going to excrete more water, leaving everything, the overall total body water, the same. But what if you were to cut back on water? So this is going to make you actually lose weight. That's where it comes from. I think this fallacy comes from because some people need to get to the certain body weight category, so they need to lose a lot of weight in boxing, for example, to get to their weight category. So that's where it came from initially. But it doesn't work that much for the peak week for our bodybuilding, because we actually want to blow up the muscle. And what you would do if you cut on water is you will actually reduce the overall total body water. So you will both reduce the water from your muscle and from the subcutaneous layer, because your body always wants to be in the equilibrium, meaning that it wants the same ratio between the water in the muscle and in the subcutaneous layer, because otherwise your muscle or the subcutaneous layer will dry out, and where would you have the flow of your nutrients? You need water, you need to sustain that gradient to be transporting your nutrients between different parts of your body. So your body will always do that to sustain. It wants to protect you. So this doesn't work. Just not drinking water. It only leaves you feeling exhausted, fatigued, stressed, and fizzy on a day. Fizzy? Dizzy. Yes, and then what I was gonna say, so you will just end up looking flat, and that's what not we want to achieve during the peak week. The second approach is actually cutting on sodium, and that is the biggest mistake. It doesn't make any sense. Initially makes some sense when you look at the kidneys and when you know that we've got a hormone called aldosterone, because sodium is so tightly regulated in our body. It regulates so many processes, it regulates everything in our body, actually blood pressure, so it actually, and your heart, how it works. So without sodium you won't be able to even pump blood around your body, so you gotta eat your sodium, so it's so tightly regulated. Any disbalances can cause so many adverse effects, but we're not talking about that today. Yes, so it's so tightly regulated by the hormone called aldosterone, and when you depleting yourself from depriving yourself of sodium, that aldosterone is activated to reabsorb back that sodium from your kidneys to protect yourself, to keep the levels of the sodium the same, and it also lowers your blood pressure. So these are the key to physiological changes that occur when you cut on sodium. And that water that's been reabsorbed through the kidneys, you might be thinking, oh, that's gonna go to the muscle. No, it's not going to go to the muscle. It's not even going to go to, it's going to go to the blood vessels initially, but because the pressure is low, the vessel, imagine like it doesn't have the tension to push and exert that pressure on the blood to deliver that water to the muscle, so it's gonna spill over everywhere, like in the subcutaneous layer, especially in the subcutaneous layer. Moreover, if you have a lower blood pressure, then the delivery of the nutrients is not as efficient as it would be if you had your pressure levels sustained or increased, So if you are, say, you want to put some glycogen stores in your muscle, not really effective if you got a lower blood pressure. Also, where are your veins? Where your veins come from? Your veins come from blood pressure. If you're doing a pump up, that's how you increase blood pressure. So if you lower your blood pressure by depleting yourself of sodium, your veins are not going to be popping on the show day, darling. They will not. And your pump is not going to be effective because you won't be able to deliver anything to your muscle effectively and quickly and promptly, because your blood pressure is low, your body is suffering, it's not going to respond. So it does not only make you retain water where you don't want it to, it also suppresses you from the effects of carbohydrate loading in many different ways. The one that I mentioned before, insufficient delivery of nutrients to your muscle, because you need the glucose to be delivered to your muscle to be stored as glycogen, and glycogen drives water to your muscle, and then it blows up. That's what I'm going to discuss in a second. But Also, it's going to, when you deplete yourself of the sodium, it also has an effect on your gut. When the absorption of nutrients occurs, when the absorption of your glucose occurs, right? So there is a receptor in your intestine that is sodium dependent, meaning if you have low sodium, the expression of that receptor is reduced as well. And that receptor is actually stimulating the glucose to be driven to your bloodstream, and from your bloodstream to then to your muscle, and to then the glycogen stores are created. So if you reduce that receptor by not eating enough sodium, you're not getting enough glucose. So your carbohydrate loading, you might be loading your carbohydrate before the show, nothing really happens because you don't have the transporters, you don't have enough sodium to create the best effects for yourself, you know? Right, so this is why not to do that. Do not stop drinking your water, do not deplete yourself of sodium. Actually, I would recommend to increase that sodium intake a little bit, not go crazy over the roof. Just slightly increase it to get the good pump, good veins, and roll with it. But now what you should do, right? What you should do is do the carbohydrate loading, proper carbohydrate loading, because this is the only thing that it's actually different between the subcutaneous layer and the muscle, is that the subcutaneous layer cannot store glycogen. It's only the muscle that can store glycogen. Come on! Let's operate with something that only muscle has, and with 1 gram of glycogen created in a muscle, and you need glucose to create glycogen in a muscle, you will drain 2.7 grams of water to your muscle. Then your muscle blows up, with the subcutaneous layer stays the same, because your muscle needs to store the glycogen. So the glycogen levels, it's all that matters for your good conditioning, good looking physique on the stage. Therefore, you need to do the carbohydrate loading, and you can do the front or the back. So front means you do it at the beginning of the peak week, and back means that you do it at the end of the peak week. And I will be doing the front one. Because for a few reasons. First one, it's safe. Because if I spill over, if I put too much carbs and it's just not going to look that great, I can always cut back on carbohydrates to the day and kind of determine what works best for me, right? But if I were to do it at the end, then if I spill over, and I don't have like a few hours to fix it, right? And so I done it at the beginning of the week, and that's what you can see what I'm doing in here, right? And then, yes, what I was gonna say, and another advantage of the front loading is that I will have my lower body session early in the week. You're still training, so why not eat some extra calories? Why not have some carbs? Why not get a good pump? Why not sustain your muscle mass, right? So another advantage of the front loading. That's why I want to be doing that. Yeah, I will keep my sodium stable, water intake stable. So let's go to that chart actually. Carbs increasing till Tuesday. And here I'm gonna determine what's gonna happen later in the week. Which carbohydrate intake is the best for me when my muscles are looking their best, and when I just feel the best, you know. A solid intake, a relatively stable increase, just like I said during the show. And then water, also relatively, well, stable. 3 liters of water every single day. Don't overcomplicate. only work with carbs, because glycogen is the only thing that you can work with in the muscle, and it's only stored in the muscle and in your liver. But the liver is not the topic for today. So very easy. And I hope that this video was of value to you. I've learned a lot doing this video, just doing the research, and when it makes sense to me, much more sense to me now than it did before. And it's super easy, and I'm very happy to find out. If you have any comments, if this video was of value to you, please like, subscribe, share with anyone that's coming into the peak week. I wish you all the best, and remember, the most important is actually how much fat you've lost. So don't let this peak week kind of take over your nerves, or if nothing magic happens during the peak week. Just operate with these carbs, and the most important thing is, at the end of the day, the person that deserves to win will win, because they've worked hard to have the lowest body fat percentage. So that's the most important. Work before, not during the peak week. During the peak week, it's just a small alteration, as you can tell. So again, hope that this video was of value to you, and wish you all the best for your competition. Bye bye. Just like I said earlier, I really hope that this video was of value to you, that you took away all the lessons that is help you understand what the peak week is all about, and now that you know what approach to take. So again, like, share, subscribe, comment, and let me know what you think, and if you have any comments to add on top of what I said about the peak week. And wish you all good luck on your competitions. Bye bye.